Hello, my name is Emma Peterson, and I am a third-year PhD student in the Global Studies program. We have all seen the images of mass student protests all over the world as students mobilize to enact change. We have also seen the images of how quickly the state government can resort to violence to crack down on the protests. Similarly, professors around the world continue to fight for their right to teach, research, and publish controversial topics. However, professors also face violent responses from the state governments that threaten their research, their careers, and their lives. Why and when does the state resort to using violence to suppress students' right to protest and professors' ability to study, advance, and diffuse knowledge? In my project, I turned to a game theory approach to tackle these questions. Game theory is a way of looking at the interactions between actors' actions and preferences and allows us to analyze what goes into students, professors, and the state's decisions. This project will help us better understand how to protect the right to protest and academic freedom, or the right to study, advance, and diffuse knowledge, since these are essential for an open, free, and democratic society. I developed two game theory models based on repression and dissent literature, one for student protest, the other for professors' academic freedom rights. In the first game theory model, students can decide to either protest or not protest. If they protest, then the state responds by using violence to repress, using nonviolent tactics to repress, or by leaving them alone. If the student protests, then the state's best course of action is to use violence to repress the students, since protests are public and tend to lead to large social movements that can destabilize the state. In the second game theory model, professors can decide to exercise their academic freedom rights and diffuse knowledge, or not diffuse knowledge. If professors diffuse knowledge, then the state can respond by using violence to repress, using nonviolence to repress, or by leaving them alone. If the professors diffuse knowledge, then the state's best course of action is to use nonviolence to repress. This is because professors' academic freedom rights are behind the scenes and are not as publicly visible as a student protest. Finding that the state prefers to use violence to repress student protest and use nonviolent means to repress professors is significant, since understanding when and why the state uses violence to repress informs citizens on the likelihood of experiencing violence if they oppose the state, potentially saving lives. My next step is to apply these game theory models to two case studies, the historic example of the Chilean military dictatorship and the contemporary example of the military coup in Myanmar. Overall, understanding the complexities of violent state repression is an essential step to safeguarding human rights and protecting lives.